Welcome back to the channel, and before we get started, if you happen to be attending Blade Show 2024 in Atlanta and you happen to come across me, please come say hi. I promise I don't bite. Even if you just say hi in passing, I like meeting y'all. I met a bunch of awesome subscribers last year. I like to consider y'all family and friends. Hopefully we get to meet even more this year. That would be awesome. There's nothing better than actually putting a face to the names from the comments that I see. Even if you don't comment, you can still come say hi. But if not, totally understand, no big deal. I will usually be wearing either one of my logoed hats, one of my logoed shirts. Most of the people say they recognize me from my voice. That's cool with me. So today we have a brand new Jack Wolf. Y'all probably seen it in my first impressions. It's the brand new Mini Cyborg, and I like this one a whole lot. Let's pan on down and talk about it. I've always liked the original Cyborg because it was a unique design from Mr. Ben from Jack Wolf Knives. And I like the overall aesthetics because it has somewhat of that Lanny's clip looking blade, and in my opinion is one of the most aesthetically pleasing blades. And not that this one's a large knife by any means, but this one is just a perfect fit for me. It's a little bit easier to carry because it's a little lighter, a little smaller in all dimensions. And even though it's smaller, it's still a useful blade. The Mini Cyborgs will be hitting dealers on 5/17 at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I will have links down below, but until that date, it will probably say sold out or something like that, or coming soon. So you're gonna have to wait till that time of the release. I love the overall rustic look of this one. You have the blasted stonewash blade and matching blasted stonewash tie bolsters. And then you have this very nice looking white marble carbon fiber covers. But of course, if this one does not do it for you, there are 4 other variations, and I don't think any of the other variations have the blasted stonewash blade. So if you're worried about corrosion or something with the blasting on the blade, you could always pick one of the hand rub satin versions. They all have different cover materials. Some of them are just all tie. Something for everyone if this is a design for you. But like I said earlier, I think this is a great size for EDC. It's coming in at 6.29 inches long, and it has a 2.69 inch blade of S90V steel. Excellent choice for a slip joint. It's going to have excellent edge retention, and they have nice deep hollow grinds on them, so they're all super slicey. And it's hardened to 60 to 61 HRC. So, like I said earlier, it should hold that edge for quite some time. And since this blade is under 3 inches and this is a slip joint, this thing's going to be legal just about everywhere, unless you can't carry a knife at all. Because a lot of places have 3 and under blade laws, and then when you get to some of the European countries, they have to be under 3 inches and non-locking, something like that. And you know, this is going to be definitely legal in way more areas. We have an excellent executed sharpening tool right here. Should give you a bunch of sharpening light before it'll start to flare out in the back right here. And being this is a hollow grind, it's going to take a while before it'll start to thicken up. You do have a nice fine point for piercing here, and then you have that deep belly right there if you need to do some very fine finesse cuts, or cutting down on a flat surface. You can use that belly to push cut into stuff or pull cut through it. Still a fairly versatile blade. It's just doing tip work as far as drag cuts. Going to be pretty much a no-go, being that you'd have to go up at a 90-degree angle to what you're cutting in order to do that. But like I said, just use that belly. You can do pull cuts with that, and it's going to work really well. Nice top swedge for some flare. And this is a full height hollow grind, so it's able to still get down nice and thin, even though it's a short height. It comes down to around 15 thousandths behind the edge, so it's going to be nice and slicey. And being that we already tested the full size one on the channel, we're not going to do the same for this one. If you want to see how this performs, go watch that video. It's not going to be any different, at least for the stuff I do in testing. All right, let's take a look at the walk and talk. I don't know how to really rate them, but I brought it to my neighbors. He gave me his opinion on the walk and talk. But you have a nice crisp half stop like all the Jack Wolfs, and they're always nice and flush in the half stop position, and a nice positive pop on the close. If I remember correctly, he gave me a 7 and a 7.5. I think he said about a 7 pull and a 7.5 on the open. Is that correct? Forgive me, I'm not too good with my slip joint terminology, but definitely, like I said, just like all the Jack Wolfs, nice and crisp. They make that nice popping sound. Love it. And I love that you have enough blade right here, even though if you like to use a nail nick, you can use it. But I much prefer to pinch and open because of my hands. I have poor dexterity after an accident, so it just makes it a lot easier for me to manipulate. Now let's take a look at the handle area. You got beautiful contouring on these scales, double-ended bolsters. Mine have the dark blasting, along with all the hardware have that same dark blasting on it. Nice crisp hardware. It's titanium hardware, so if you ever want to anodize it, you could. Nice Torx T10 pivot. I'm pretty sure that's what that one is, and then T8 for the cover screws. And just like always, I'm closing my eyes right now. I cannot feel the transition between the carbon fiber and the titanium, and that's on both sides. Nice little chamfer on the back end right there, just to give you some nice little flare and to soften those edges. They've even, hopefully you can see that, they've even rounded this spot right here, this spot, and this spot, so there's no pokey spots anywhere. Tight fitment, and I have not found any voids in the carbon fiber at all. I mean, unless you see something when you watch it in HD, but I'm not seeing anything. It's some very, I like the way this looks. Like how you have enough of the white, and then the black contrast is perfect from the carbon fiber. And look how crisp those Torx are. That's perfect. Nice and tight fitment in there, and then you have another chamfer over the top. Being these are hafted, these are perfectly mated. Just look at all the little facets you have here. And everything fits up. I cannot feel anything. There's no high spots whatsoever anywhere. And that whole back strap on this one has been dark blasted and stone washed as well. Same goes with the opposite side. You have more black on the carbon fiber on this one than this side, and I like that. That's just the nature of the beast with these different types of carbon fibers. Centering on mine is straight down the pipe, as you can see there. And opening and closing is nice and smooth. Pretty sure there are phosphor bronze washers in there, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just a nice fluid motion with that nice tension to let you know the blade is nice and secure. Definitely not worried about this one closing as long as you're using it properly. Now, of course, it's a nice buying experience. When you buy a Jack Wolf, you get the beautiful, very well made slip joint, plus a very nice leather slip. If you want to carry it in this, you can. It's a Jack Wolf branded slip. He also sells some custom ones too, I think. I've been carrying mine in this clip slip that I've got off of Etsy. It fits perfect in this. I forgot the seller, but nice fit, and it stays in there nicely. And it's clipped to my pocket, so all I do is pinch it, and it comes sliding out. Weight with the slip is either 73 grams or 2.575 ounces, or just a slip joint. It's coming in under 2 ounces. Some quick size comparisons with the Lion Steel round head and the Benchmade proper. And it's pretty much identical in length to the Bushcraft blades, Beaver Creek Barlow, and the Swiss Army Knife Pioneer. And two Jack Wolves, we have the Jack Wolf Laid Back Jack and the Jack Wolf Lil Bro. It's very similar to the length of the Lil Bro. Any nitpicks and complaints? The only nitpick I have, and it's really not that big of a deal because they have other versions, is because I live here in the South, we have high humidity. Any blasted blade finish is more susceptible to corrosion because it opens the pores up. But overall, I love this one. I love the size. I like the smaller versions of some of these knives. Now, would I want that on every one of them? Probably not, but some of these, yeah. And like I said, I've always liked the Cyborg. I like how it's, like I said, I like how it's a unique design. It has things that I like from multiple different designs. Love that Lanny's looking blade. Even though it's a little bit longer than most Lanny's, it's just a very attractive knife. This is a very pocketable size, and this one's going to be legal in pretty much any area that allows somebody to carry a knife. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. I will have the mini linked down in the description. Like I said, it doesn't drop till the 17th, so make sure you're aware of the time you're watching this video. And I'll try to also do a community post when these actually release if you're interested. All right, guys and girls, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.